Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you, all of you? Hope you're all well. To Sister MULHAT FARID again, under the courtesy of MULHAT Digital Hub. And inshallah, as I promised, today we're going to look at ضمائر والافعال. How is the relationship between them? Okay, tag along with me. أنواع الضمائر. So first thing, we're going to look at the types of ضمائر. How many types do we have? So ضمائر hii ni nafsi ya umoja, nafsi ya wingi, kama vile kwa Kiswahili pia tuko nazo katika Arabic. So katika Arabic it's divided into 3 parts: ضمائر للمتكلم, ضمائر للمخاطب, ضمائر للغائب. So we have ضمائر للمتكلم like ya kujiongelelea. It comes from the word takallama, talk. So it talks about you. So at this point we only have 2 of them, which is ana and nahnu. Ana, me; nahnu, us. So you can see when you are saying ana, you're talking about yourself. When you say us, it is us, all of us. So you're talking about yourselves, but now you are many. And then the second one is called ضمائر للمخاطب. مخاطب, it comes from the word خطبة. خطبة, it's someone, shona vile like the way kwa mimbare, wamwitana ni khatib, yule mwenye kusimama kutuongelesha, wamwitana khatib, the preacher. So it comes from the same word, khatib, mukhatab. Mukhatab, this is the person that wamuongelesha, ako mbele yako, you can see the person, wamuongelesha, tukhatibuhu. Sawa. So here there are 5 of them. The first is anta. Anta, you. But you, the gender is the one that is changing. So anta, you, but is a male. So you are addressing a male. Anta, you, male. Anti, it is you, but female. So when you see the difference is between the fatha and the kasra. Anta has a fatha, anti has a kasra. Sawa. So anta is for male, anti is for the female. Antuma, now this is for the 2 of you. When you want to say the 2 of you, antuma. So here you're for antuma, it can either be used for either male or female. It can be used for both. So for 2 people, you use for any gender, you just use the same, antuma, you 2. Antunna, see there is a nun at the end, antunna. So anuna ya wanawake. Sawa. So he antunna, these are many now. So wako wingi, plural, but the gender is female. Antum, there are many, but the gender is male. Antunna, there are many, plural of female. Antum is plural of male. So here we got singular, which singular is for male and female. Then we got for both, when there are 2 people. So when there are 2 people, we use either there are 2 male or 2 female, we use the same. And then antunna, these are plural, which is for female, and then antum is plural of male. So these are the ones addressing the you're addressing someone that you can see is in front of you. tukhatibuhu, anta, you, anti, you, but you, the fatha is for male, for kasra is for the female. Okay. ضمائر للغائب. Now غائب, it comes from the word غاب, يغيب, غيب, غائب, he's not around, is absent. So this is a person that is not with us. It's like saying he did something, huwa, he, okay? He's not there with you. You are addressing someone, but he's absent. he's not in front of you. It's different from مخاطب. مخاطب, you're addressing a person who is in front of you, but الغائب is someone who is far, you can't see that person. So the first one is هو. 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 This is singular of male. So if a man is one and is not there, you want to address him, you'll say هو. هو الذي, he is the one who. Okay, here, for here is the singular of a female, but is not around also. Here. هما is for both. Both, either female, two of them, or two male. Then we have هن. هن with the noon at the end. This is for the female when they are many. You want to address maybe their teachers, female teachers, many of them, and you want to say like they did something. هن الذين فعلنا كده وكده. They're the ones who did this and this and this. So, but we are saying hunna, they are the one, but we are addressing the female who are many. Whom you are addressing male who are many. So in Arabic we have singular of male, we have singular of female. Then we got plural of male and plural for female. But for two people, when people are two, we address them with the same huma. Okay, let's look at أنواع الأفعال. Now verbs. So here there are many verbs. We have فعل ماضي, فعل مضارع, فعل أمر, فعل معتل, فعل لازم, أفعال الخمسة, في المبني للمجهول, مبني للمعلوم. All these are verbs, types of verbs. I think I've covered on مبني للمعلوم and مبني للمجهول. So today I'm going to cover another three of them. فعل ماضي, this is past. هو كل فعل يدل على وقوع عمل في زمن الماضي وتكون مبنية على الفتحة دائما. So فعل ماضي is past tense, something that had been done already. So what is it? هو كل فعل, it's every verb يدل على وقوع عمل في زمن ما. That stands for an action that has been done in the past. وتكون مبنية, and it's usually على فتحة دائما. It usually have a فتحة. So all the فعل ماضي, the easy way to know it, that a trick, you just know that because it has a فتحة at the end. The second فعل, الفعل مضارع. هو كل فعل, it is every verb يدل على, that stands for وقوع عمل, of doing an action في زمن الحاضر, on the exact time, or the current zaman, the current time. So when someone is doing an action right now, there's a way whereby we say, and when it is done in the past, there's a way we say. وتبدأ بإحدى هذه الحروف. And for الفعل مضارع, the easy way to know them, they all start with either of any of this, okay, which we call it أنيت. So فعل مضارع, it either starts with alif. If it doesn't start with alif, then you'll find it starting with noon. And if it doesn't start with noon, you'll find it starting with ya. And if it doesn't start with ya, you'll find it starting with ta. So for example, maybe you have been given a place, you're told differentiate فعل ماضي and مضارع. I've given you tricky ways. فعل ماضي, they end with فتحة, and فعل مضارع, they start with any of the أنيت. Then the third one is الفعل الأمر. هو الفعل الذي, it's a verb that يطلب به حدوث شيء في زمن التكلم, that wants you to do the action at that moment that it has been spoken. وهذه الأفعال, and these verbs, مبنية على, sorry I wrote على twice. وهذه الأفعال مبنية على السكون غالبا. Most of the time these verbs are usually ending with سكون. So this is زمن التكلم, like it's I'm ordering you to do something. اقرأ, read, clean. You get, so that the moment it's expected that the moment I tell you clean, you're going to clean, because nakuamrisha. Sawa, that's why we call fi'l al-amr. I'm commanding you. It's a commanding verb. So it's usually done after the command, at the moment of the command, when you are commanded to do something, and then at the same moment you do it. Sorry. علاقة الفعل الماضي بالضمائر. Now I'm going to show you the connection, how they connect the verb, the past tense, and the ضمائر. How do they work together? أنا كتبت. So when I'm saying I wrote, remember فعل الماضي is past tense. I wrote. I. Remember أنا is I. نحن is us. أنا, I, نحن is us. So I've started on the right side with the الضمائر المتكلم that talk about yourself. So أنا, I. كتبت, I wrote. So you basically write كتب. The verb here I'm using is كتب, to write. That is the verb I've used here. So when you are given a verb, and how can you make it, like when you want to say I wrote, they wrote, we wrote, the two of them wrote, or he wrote, how are you going to say it in Arabic? So I wrote at the end, so you are going to write the verb the way it is. The verb is kataba. So you'll write that verb, and then the last letter of that verb, you'll keep a sukun, katab. So it was kataba, now we have written katab. We kept the last letter with a sukun. Then we are going to add a ta at the end, which has a dhamma. Okay, here we are going to find different tas. So be keen. For ana, when you say I, it has a ta at the end with sukun. Nahnu, us, katabna. Do you see the noon that I at the nahnu? I have kept it red color. So that noon, we take that noon and bring it at the end, but we add an alif. So it's a must you add that alif. The moment you forget to add that alif, then you are going to mean something else, okay? Which I will tell you what it will mean. So you'll take that noun at the beginning of nahnu. First thing we said, we are going to write the verb kataba, and then we change the last letter from fatha to sukun, katab. Then we take the noun from nahnu, we keep it there, katabna, with a fatha, and then we add an alif, katabna, nahnu katabna. We are many, so we have to prolong. Then let's look at ضمائر للمخاطب. So أنت, you, who is a male, كتبت. The ta at the, you'll find that all of these have we have written the verb kataba, then we changed the ba from fatha to sukun, and then now we add the at the endings. So anta, we take the ta, we keep it at the end, katabta. Anti, we take the ta from anti, we keep it at the end, katabti. Antuma, we take the tuma from antuma, and then we bring it at the end of the verb, so it becomes katabtuma. Antum, we take the tum from the verb, from the antum, and then we bring it to the verb, it becomes katabtum. You wrote. But who are the ones who wrote? Are many males. Antunna, katabtunna. So we take the tunna and place it at the end. Antunna, katab. Don't forget the ba with the sukun. Then you add the tunna, katabtunna. Okay, let's go to huwa. Huwa usually take the verb the way it is. Okay, huwa kataba, huwa rasama, huwa. All the verbs are in the form of a male. Okay, huwa. So you just take, when you want to say for huwa, then you just take the verb the way it is and you place it. Okay, here, so here it's katabat, here katabat. So for ضمائر of غائب, you'll find that we are not changing the ba with the sukun. For mutakallim and mukhatab, we were taking the last verb, the last letter from the verb, we change it to sukun, and then we add what was from the ضمائر at the end. So for غائب, it's different. Here, katabat, you'll find the ba is just you write kataba and then you add with sukun. And then for huma, we take the alif, then we place it at the end. Huma kataba. Now I plus two, huma kataba and huma katabata. The other katabata, the one with the ta at the end, adding a ta at the end, is for female. When there are two female, we say huma katabata. But if there are two males, we say huma kataba. You take the alif only and place it. But if they're females, you add the ta at the end with the alif. Okay, hum katabu. Hum katabu. Keep a waw at the end. نحذف النون. Okay, so you say hum katabu, you just remove the noon at the end, because basically it's supposed to be katabuna, so we remove the noon at the end. For huma also, it was supposed to be katabani, because there are two. You remember on the other previous lesson I said for when people are two, add alif and noon. When people are many and they're male, we add waw and noon. You remember that? So for here, we نحذف النون, we remove the noon, we just keep the alif from the huma. And for whom, you just add a waw with the alif, you remove the noon. Then hun katabna, hunna katabna, you take the noon from the hunna and keep it at the end, but we don't place the shadda. We don't place the shadda. Remember, hunna has a shadda, but katabna doesn't have a shadda. You don't say katabna, we say katabna without the shadda. That's why I said at the nahnu, if you don't place the alif, then it's going to change the meaning, because nahnu katabna with the alif. If we don't keep the alif, then it's going to change from nahnu hunna katabna. So be keen with those two. Anything on that? I think I've explained very well. Okay, let's look now at علاقة الفعل المضارع بالضمائر. Now we are looking the verbs, present verbs with the ضمائر. How do they go hand in hand? So we start with أنا. أنا أكتب, I am writing. أكتب. Okay, so the ba at the end will be having a sukun. And then remember, we said these verbs, all of them, they start with anaitu. Sawa sawa. So the anaitu, from the anaitu, the alif, it's only working with ana. And the noon, na anay. So na, alif, noon, yata. So alif works with only ana, and noon works with only nahnu. And then ta works with only the ضمائر للمخاطب, and ya works with only the ضمائر of غائب, except for the غائب at the here. That is the only one starting with ta instead of ya. Are we together on that? Alif goes only with ana, noon goes only with nahnu. So for example, you'll be given narsumu. You already have seen that it starts with one of the anaitu. So it starts with noon. So that means it is fi'al mudari. So how am I going to know which ضمائر is supposed to be here? You'll see noon. Noon goes hand in hand with nahnu. Okay. For the ta, they work only with the مخاطب, except only for مخاطب. And then for غائب, it works with ya except here. Okay. So أنا أكتب. أنا أكتب. So we take the alif from the أنا and we place it at the beginning. أكتب. نحن نكتب. We take the noun from the نحن, we place it at the beginning of the verb. Okay, let's go to أنت. You see this or أنت, أنتِ, أنتما, أنتم, أنتن. They all have ta onto the ضمير. So all of those ta, we begin with them. So أنت تكتب. أنتِ تكتبين. So if you're keen, you'll find that the place of the female, singular female, has a big problem, because at أنتِ, instead of saying تكتبين, it's saying تكتبين. It's starting with a fatha, the ta, instead of the kasra. أنتِ تك. And then it is added at the end with ya and nun. So it's changing at the beginning of the verb and at the end of the verb. At the beginning it's starting with a ta with a fatha instead of a kasra, and then at the end we add ya and nun. Okay, we go antuma. So we take the ta from antuma and we begin with it, and then we add the alif and nun. Remember, for madhi we were not adding alif and nun, we were just adding the alif. Okay, antum taktubuna. So we take the the ta. Sorry, that's supposed to be only the ta, not the mim. Antum, we're going to start with the ta. At the beginning we take the ta from antum and we begin with it, and then because there are many male, so we said many male, we add waw and nun. Taktubuna. And then we go to antunna. Antunna, we take the ta from the antunna, we begin with it, and then at the end we add a nun. Antunna taktubna. So the nun from the antunna is placed at the end, and the ta from antunna is placed at the beginning. Okay, let's go to huwa. Huwa starts with a ya. Okay, huwa yaktubu. Remember, for the madhi we didn't add anything for huwa, just the verb the way it was, we just wrote it like that. Okay, let's go to our female who is troublesome. Here all others are starting with ya except her. She wants to start with that ta. Haya, we gave her the ta. So here taktubu. Here taktubu. Okay, huma yaktubani. So we said for the ghaib they start with the ya. Huma yak, we add the ya at the beginning, and then because huma is for two people, then we add alif and nun. Whom, there are many male, so at the end we add waw and nun, and we begin the verb with a ya. Hunna, we begin the verb with a ya, and then at the end we add the nun. If you are keen enough, you'll find from this al-fi'l al-mudari, from antuma, antum and antunna, and huma, hum and hunna, they're all written the same way. The only thing that is changing is that for antuma, antum, antuna, because they have the ta, then we begin with ta. And this other for the ghaib, because they start with ha, we begin with ya. But how they are written is totally the same. It's just at the beginning. The ones start the ضمائر with ta, the verb begins with ta. The ضمائر with ha, the verb begins with a ya. You can see antuma taktubani, huma yaktubani. Same, just ya. Antum taktubuna, hum yaktubuna. Antunna taktubna, hunna yaktubna. I think you saw that. So now let's look at علاقة فعل الأمر with the ضمائر. Now we are on the last type of verb, فعل الأمر, for the commanding one. So for commanding, it just goes with you can only command someone who is in front of you. You can only command the ضمائر of مخاطب. You can't command yourself, or you command your like when you are many, you command yourselves. There must be someone who is there to command you. Okay, and for the ghaib, why don't we place with the ghaib is because you can't command someone is not there with you. Sawa, you can't command yourself and you can't command someone who is not there. the person must be present at your eyes for you to be able to command them. That's why it's only الفعل الأمر, it can only be done to the ضمائر the مخاطب, because مخاطب is the one you are addressing, is in front of you, you can command them. But someone غائب, you can't command them, or yourself you can't command. There must be someone who is there to command you. Okay, so أنت, the first one is أنت اكتب. Remember we said most of these verbs they end with sukun. أنت اكتب. أنت اكتبي, you must add the ya at the end. Why? Because it's a female. اكتبي. Okay, أنتما, when they are two, we have اكتبا, you add the alif from أنتما, the alif at the end there from ma, you add that to the end. اكتبا, اكتبتا. If it's there are two females, you tell them اكتبتا, you add the ta, just like in the madhi. Okay, in the madhi I also showed you that you add alif if they're male, and you add ta with an alif if they are female. أنتم اكتبوا, also in the madhi I told you نحذف النون, so because there are many male we add waw and alif. اكتبوا, ارسموا, اخرجوا. أنتن اكتبنا, أنتن اكتبنا, you just add the noon. So you'll find that these ones at the end they're almost for the فعل الماضي. اكتبا, اكتبتا, how, what, on basically on what you add only at the end. And not all the verbs starts at the فعل الأمر starts with u. It's not all the verbs that you'll say the alif will have a dhamma. You know, you can have like ishraba, so like for example sharab, sharaba, yes. So that verb, when you keep it at fa'il amr, the alif it's with a kasra, not a dhamma. So not all the verbs start with a dhamma. Don't take all the verbs you add alif at the beginning with dhamma. We usually add an alif, but some with a kasra, some with a dhamma. But at the end they all change the same. For anti you have to add a ya. For antuma you have to add an alif if they're male. If they're female you have to add a ta with an alif. If there are many male we add waw and alif. If there are many female we just add a noon with a fatha at the end. Okay, this is a short so that you can examine yourself on what really you have understood. So the question says ضع الأفعال الآتية إلى الأفعال الماضي باستخدام الضمائر للمخاطب. So here's read the question, you understand. Okay, ضع الأفعال الآتية, put these verbs. So they've given you some verbs down there. إلى الأفعال الماضي. So you've been given verbs. They're telling you keep those verbs at the past tense, so you have to change those verbs to become past tense. And then the question still continues saying باستخدام الضمائر للمخاطب, by using the ضمائر of addressing someone مخاطب. So they have been specifically that which kind of ضمائر you use. So here we're going to use أنت, أنتِ, أنتما, أنتم and أنتن only. And these verbs you'll place them in the past tense. So the first verb is rasama, and then we have jalasa. Rasama is to draw and jalasa is to sit. So I want you to try take the verb, like for example rasama, and then try to change it into fi'l al-madi, the past tense, using the ضمائر of للمخاطب. So I'll try to do one with you. أنت رسمت, أنت رسمتي, أنتما رسمتما, أنتم رسمتم, أنتن رسمنا. Okay, now I want you to try the other one. Once you're done, you can just comment below with your answer. The second question is saying ضع الفعل الآتية, put this verb لتكون الأفعال المضارع, so you change the verb that you have been given to مضارع, to the present tense, باستخدام ضمائر كلها, by using all the ضمائر. So this is general, you're going to use أنا, نحن, أنت, أنت, أنتما, أنتم, أنتن, هو, هي, هم, هما, هن. So you're going to use all these verbs. You change the verb to past tense, to present, sorry, مضارع, to the present tense, and the verb that you're given is رجع, coming. رجع, he came back. Okay, so رجع. So I have given you an example of كتب. So it's just the verb changing from كتب to write to رجع, coming. So I want you to try also on this. Only فعل المضارع. You're not doing math. Only مضارع, present tense. Then you use all the ضمائر. Okay. Let's try out on these questions and comment your answer below, inshallah. If you have any question or any clarification on any topic, you can just comment below so that in the next lesson I can prepare it for you, inshallah.